The modern experience is the management of finances, machines, and chemicals, rather than of earth, plants, and animals. It means a distance from the basics. It means a struggle to maintain that foothold. Young Buster Hartley knows that farmers are in trouble. He has watched many around him fail. He reads the papers, and his own farm is endangered by the escalating costs of everything he needs to produce food, while the prices he receives for his commodities continue to drop. In a final effort to overcome his economic problems, Buster Hartley has concentrated his resources in cows. Buster needs to prepare a piece of scrubland for pasture. He must disc it, fence it, and plant grass before the fall. He will then be ready to start his new herd.
The problem is deeper, far greater than one individual farmer who might be having financial difficulties due to inflation or whatever the reason. You have social problems, you have economic problems, you have political problems in a small area, a small town like this. What are we going to do with the land that isn't going to be farmed? What are we going to do with the people who are now farming the land? We are in a situation now that really has me buffaloed. I don't know of any other way to put it, because we are looking at another change, and what we are going to change to, I do not know. However, it's very apparent that we can't continue from an economic standpoint to farm in this area as we've done in the past, as we've done the last 20, 25 years. The economics and the bottom line will just not let us continue as we have been going. And the sad part about it is that I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know where we're going from here.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing about farming was economics. People love to farm, but they just exist. We farmed to kill the hunger pains, as they say. You couldn't find anything to do. People couldn't do anything else after everything was closed down. Then after World War II, B.F. Goodrich came to Tuscaloosa and opened up Central Foundry, hired a lot of people. Partlow and Bryce hired just any number of people from this area. The state started hiring people to cut the right-of-ways when they stopped the prisoners from working on the highways, and that took a lot of the tenant farmers out. They could make more money. That was the answer to the whole thing. They could make money. A few landowners took over then. Big farmers took over because they had machinery come in that could pick the cotton, combine together the grain, chemicals that you didn't have to have anybody to hoe with.
In 1970, July the 18th, my father fell dead over the other market. He was unloading peaches this lady. And the same day, within the same hour that this year I was unloading, and was selling at the same price I was in 1970. That's 11 years.
And the price of everything that you go in to put in?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what gas has done. Fuel has done. Pesticides they have more than tripled. 11 years ago, baskets was probably 15 cents. Now they're 40 cents. You take those peaches out, I've got 40 cents in them baskets, just in containers. I've got a quarter in them getting them picked, a quarter in getting them hauled out of the field, loaded on the truck, and it cost me a quarter to get them down here. So I've got $1.15 in picking my baskets and hauling them to Birmingham. Much less the rest of what I do.
And somebody was complaining about how much they cost?
Yeah.
You can't just pick a person up off of the street somewhere because and do the work because he doesn't know there's got to be some skill to it. You've just got to work on the farm. The labor that I've got has been raised here on the farm. And they're having to do something on the side to help them out because it's not year-round job, although it's something to do every day. It's not a most continuous paying job.
The change in this area from agriculture to agribusiness altered the economics of farming for everyone, even for those who never sought to get bigger, who never found themselves caught up in the American dream of bigger is better. Now the economic breakdown of agribusiness threatens the complete disintegration of the tradition of farming as a way of life. Farm labor, once the occupation of everyone who lived here, is now scarce and often too expensive for the small farmer to hire. For small farmers, like Mrs. Randolph with her peach orchard, the changes wrought by the developments of agribusiness threaten to render her obsolete, to number the days of her old rural values and her self-sufficient way of life.
I don't know where. You ought to really carry your pictures and set it up here to help us advertise, honey. Oh, well. I'll pay you for it, and then you get some more. And if we don't have a dissatisfied customer, we see to it that he's satisfied.
Yes, sir.
He gets a bad basket, he gets another one.
What do y'all find so appealing about living out on a farm? I know a lot of people...
You'll have to come out there and see. It's quiet, and it's so restful and so peaceful out there. And I sell my peaches in a way that at night I don't have any faces crossing my pathway when I'm trying to go to sleep. I do my best for my customers. And if they're happy, that makes me happy.
A woman determined to keep her peach orchard viable as a business against all the odds. In a crowded city suburb, in the shadow of a supermarket, she sells her fresh peaches from a truck.
And that's one way I make it, is because my children have spent all their vacations this year helping me. And we didn't count that as expense because they didn't charge me anything.
We spend our vacations and our weekends and all that trying to help to carry on with the peach orchard. My family has a great love for the peach orchard, but it's not really very profitable.
What I'm fighting for is survival here. I hope to keep it looking so like as I can, like it was when my husband passed away. I come out here and mess around with these chickens 2 and 3 times a day sometimes if I have nothing else to do, because I kind of like to tend to the chickens. And if I scare them, I can't do anything with them. I have to, well, they come pouring out of the house. I face them up at night because of other things that lead them up. Possums, polecats, minks. They'll come and go in and destroy them at night if we don't keep them fastened up. But that's just a little good part of farm life, is getting to go out and gather the eggs and feed the chickens.